I'm Isaiah Allen. I am the author of the book A Smile. Right there.
What
Yeah.
inspired you to become an author?
Um, it it's really that's a really interesting story and a maybe even more interesting answer. Um, growing up, I wasn't the best writer. I had to stay up hours at night. I would have to go to Perkins with my mom late at night to practice writing for my essays and report. And, I was told by a counselor that um, I'm going to really struggle in college because I'm not a good writer. And, it turns out in college, English and writing was my best subject. Um, and so I really took those words as something, okay, I need to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Um, but to inspire me to become a writer of a book, I wanted to inspire others by writing a good message. And I've written poetry in the past, and I really like that. But this is, you might find this a little bit funny, but I was, man, it was the January, like before graduation. And I was like, I have nothing to show for it. I mean, I played college football. About to have my degree, but like I don't have anything. Like I'm a nobody right now. And I was thinking, okay, what can I do to put my name out there? Um, and I'm like, the one of the things that stand the test of time is literature. So I'm like, let me write a book. And I'm like, I did it. Took me two weeks to finish the story, which I've been told is really fast when it comes to books, even a children's book. But I was determined, and I guess you can say a little hard-headed because I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I did it. Yeah.
Can you tell me about the book?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So make sure the framing is all right. It's called A Smile. It's it's I guess it kind of takes the flow of poetry a little bit too. When you read it, it kind of I've gotten comparisons to Dr. Seuss. I'm not on that level yet, but hopefully one day, maybe 20 years from now, people will be like, "Oh, was a Dr. Seuss." But it's called A Smile because I realize the importance that smiling has on overall mood of the room, also personally. Um, I started doing some experiments on my way up to writing the book, and that was just smiling at random people on campus, opening the door and like, "Hey, have a great day," and seeing how that that affected them. And I would indirectly run into them later in the day in campus. And I'm like, "Hey, by saying, hope you have a great day and smiling in you, how did that impact your day?" I got a couple answers like, I don't know. Like, last thing I was thinking about. But I got quite a few answers saying, like, I've never met you before, but the fact that a stranger went out their way to smile um, at me and say, I hope you have a great day, really made my day a little bit better. Right. And not to say the pandemic is done, but we're coming off of all wearing masks,
Yeah.
right? So that facial expressions, um, that was missing for a lot. It was missing for a while, and I continue to do it not only in campus but um, in the community, and I've got really receptive for that. And that's part of the reason why I have some new lifelong friends is because I just smiled, and I realized that this message is really important for children. It's
Yeah.
also important for adults. Books are for
Yeah,
everybody,
definitely.
but um, and picture books are for everybody. I find myself sometimes reading these books. I'm like, it just needs pictures. um, but I knew this was a great message for children, and I I knew it was something that had to be put out there. So I'll show you a little bit. more about the illustrations. So the illustrations mirror my life growing up, and you know, I as a little kid, I didn't have two front teeth, so I'm missing a tooth there. Um, let's see the next page. The only thing I would say accurate is my room was not this clean growing up. There was stuff all over the place, but I wanted to show a positive family dynamic as well. Um, I wanted to I wanted to show that in every facet of life, a smile can make things better, you know, through good times and bad, through confusing times, through everything. Um, like here's one of my favorite pages. A smile before feast lets the cook know we're ready to eat. Food has always been a big part of our family, and it's a way that we connect with each other, and it's a way that millions of people across the world connect with each
Yeah.
other. Is with food, and it's a way to show gratefulness to the cook and also the people around you that you enjoy your time with them. I wanted to also articulate that I understand school is not for everyone and homework is hard, but a smile, a smile while thinking hard makes thinking hard feel a lot less hard. Oops, let's there. Uh, this is better. Oops. Right. So I show myself um, studying really hard and enjoying that grind, you know, and the results follow. And the fact that I felt really good about getting a good grade, my classmates and my teachers also felt really good as well. That I was enjoying learning. And I think that is so important today. Um, again, back to the COVID example, a lot of children lost a couple years into their schooling because of
Yeah.
Zoom learning. So as we see, reading scores are down, math scores are down. So we have to try to inspire that joy of learning again. Um, the same thing with being outside. We have to. I mean, I'm guilty of this now, but I'm guilty of just being on my phone inside all day. But we have this whole wide world of outside, beautiful, beautiful nature out there that we don't appreciate as much, and also inspire that. Um, what's another good? Wait, I would like to say all the
Right.
pages are good. Um, I was a I was an athlete. I guess I'm still am. Um, and a smile in the beginning of the competition lets my opponents know I'm here on a mission. And when I wrote that, I was writing it down. I'm like, man, that's cold. That's cold. and
Yeah. During a competition. Right.
yeah, and I just remember, high school running the 100 meter. I'm just happy, and I'm just there, and I'm just focused on the finish line. And then my competitors are, looking back and forth. And then when I crossed the finish line, got first place, um, my competitor's like, "Why are you so happy?" I'm like, I'm just happy to be here. And I would have some of my classmates say, "Stop smiling when you're running so hard." and it's just it was hard for me not because I was just happy to be there. It was a way for myself to um, express myself, running and playing sports. Um, my next page that I think is really impactful is a smile before a big speech lets the crowd know I have something great to teach. Um, this shows a part of my dream. My one of my dreams is to speak around big crowds and inspire. And I think it's important that as children, as adults, that we set goals that make ourselves happy, and that so we can so they can happen in the future. And so I wanted to show like, hey, this is a goal of mine, and I'm working towards that. And that's so really important that we have these goals that we're working towards that make us happy. Because once you get to that goal and you're accomplishing it, you're still happy.
Yeah.
You know. Um, a next page. A smile from someone you haven't seen in a while makes life that much more worthwhile. So it shows myself and my best friend Andrew um, in my basement playing video games, eating pizza. You know, a story around this. I had my first sleepover maybe in my junior year. I've been told that's pretty late to have a sleepover, but you know, I don't care. It was the best one ever with my best friend Andrew. Let me tell you about Andrew. He would show up to our house in a bathrobe, no bag, and some slippers. He's like, "Hey, I'm here," and I'm like, "Okay, let me get the air mattress," and then we would just be downstairs, you know, eating pizza and playing video games. My very best friend. Um, my junior year of high school, he committed suicide, and that was really, really hard for me, extremely hard for me, and it was hard for me to be able to process that. And even though the book doesn't expressly show that processing, and the next page has myself playing. Oh, has myself playing football. And I don't know if you see right here. That's Andrew, right? And so a smile from someone you haven't seen in a while makes life that much more worthwhile. I know that Andrew's still smiling towards me, whether I was playing football or college, whether I was in my dorm room playing video games or even EMB, he's always there. I think it's important that we make these positive memories so we can look back and know, okay, you know, that it's important that we have these positive memories of smiling because then we have something to look back to that makes us smile now. And I think that is so important. My next page, oops, working on that. There's a flower shop. I'll give you a little bit more exposition. A smile makes me want to go the extra mile to be a better person and to do everything with a little bit of style. Um, my my girlfriend loves smiles. She loves my smile, but she also loves flowers. And I noticed, you know, that she when we would go to the farmers market, she would always look at them. And so I got her a really big bouquet of flowers. And and she had the biggest, most honest smile I've ever seen. And she inspires me to do more things to make other people smile, but especially her. Um, and I think that makes our relationship stronger. And I think that this message is super important for you know, young people and even some adults. Understand, like, when you go extra mile to make someone smile. Oh, that rhymes. I'll probably use that again. When you go the extra mile to make someone smile, it strengthens relationships. It ties your heart together. And I think that's really important. The last page ties everything up. You know, it shows my sister, my dog, my girlfriend, my teacher, my best friend, my mom, my dad, and then a mentor. A smile from someone you love and care about makes living in this crazy world that much more worthwhile. Uh, I always say that, like, you don't need 1,000 friends. All you need is a couple, right?
Right.
And and their positivity and their love can get you through the darkest times. And I think that's really important. And in the next page at the end, I have little notebook sheets. So those who get the book can write what makes you smile, just as a reminder. And that will change throughout life. You know, when I was younger, Rangers made me so happy, made me smile. Now, I I like seeing that I like seeing that the Vikings are doing better. You know, that they are winning games. This season has been a little tough, but you know, I'm still happy. I'm still happy. We have a football team. You know, so I can't be too mad. So yeah, so that's basically what my book is about.
How does it feel to get feedback from your family and friends?
Wow. Really, really, it still surprises me. My feedback has honestly been all positive. I've gotten a lot of things like, "Why'd you write a book?" I'm like, "Because I can."
Yeah.
Um, wow, you wrote a book? I don't know anybody who's written a book, and you're really making a difference, and that's inspiring me to do more and more, and um, to continue writing and continue making adventures that impact others positively.
And you said you played college football, which is physically demanding, but what did you do to help your own mental health during it?
Uh, During football, man, I stayed busy. I That's what really helped me. I didn't really have time to be distracted. But something that I definitely took advantage of at college, we have the wellness center, which has, like therapists on campus. So something I did for the first time in my life in college was like talk to a therapist, talk through, how I was feeling, my ups, my downs. And I think a big stigma with therapy is that you only go when you're going through downs, when you have the downs. But I found it really, really helpful to talk when I was having really good days as well. Yeah.
For me, when I was in high school, I was in learning disability classes, so school was tough, and I barely graduated. But then in college, I got like a 3.5 GPA, and it all worked. What would you say to any kid going through what you went through in that situation?
Yeah, everyone learns differently, but I think it's important, even when things are hard, that you have to keep pushing. Um, you know, and our high school football like slogan was "Iron sharpens iron," and you know, you it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, but there are resources for you to help you. And I can fully admit when I was in high school, I was hard headed in the sense that I didn't want to admit that I was struggling because I felt ashamed. Um, but as an adult, um, it doesn't make sense to struggle, especially when there are resources and people willing to help you. Just have to ask. And asking is the hardest part initially, but then it just becomes really easy. Um, at least myself, I don't like seeing anybody struggle, and I think for the most part, educators, family members, they don't want to see you struggle either. So they'd rather spend time with you, helping you work through things than, you struggling and being sad and upset.
What are some of the things that motivate you?
Oh man, I have a lot of motivators. Um, I know this is cliche, but haters are my motivators, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't have that many haters. I think a lot of my haters are like, okay, like how Khaled says they want us to fail, they want us, and I don't know who they is, but I know they's there. You know what I mean? And a lot of my motivators come with, I'm from West St. Paul, Minnesota, and I want to be somebody who my community sees and says, that's Isaiah Allen. He's from here. He was able to make something of himself, and he's helping others in our community do the same. Um, I Another big motivation. I want to do things that other people haven't done, or things that people have done, but do it my way. Um, I guess another motivator is, growing up, I really love superheroes, and the fact that the motif of perseverance, through everything that's hard, um, getting through it. I love the grind. Um, and I think that's a really big motivation for myself. But I honestly, this my family has done a lot for me. They've supported me through school. I got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes my freshman year of college in the middle of football season.
Oh
And,
boy.
they were there all the way. And they refused to say that this was a setback and it was just a different, my life is just going to change a little bit now. It's going to become my new normal. But they've never treated me like a setback. They never treated my illness like a setback either. And I really appreciate that.
So where do you want to see yourself, say, in the next 3 to 5 years?
Oh man. Um, wow. Everywhere, honestly. Um, I, I I guess my more immediate goal is I want to be speaking, be doing a lot more speaking engagements, especially with universities and schools. I've been to quite a few schools already, but I want to ramp that up a bit. Um, I think a lot of I feel like I'm not saying too much different than what we know. Like we all know that smiling is when you smile, it makes other people feel happy. But I think the message isn't as loud as it should be. Um, hopefully, hopefully I'll be spreading the good news. Um, but man, that I don't know if I'm too prepared to say where I want to be. I mean, I honestly would like to be successful, and I'd like to be inspiring others. I think that's the best way I can answer that.